welcome to Colonel Samuel Smith Park here at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario for the development game between Team Canada and Team USA. No score in the early going. Americans in possession. USA in red. Team Canada is in white. Mark made by Team USA. That is number 14, Julian David of the Sacramento Suns. Kicks it through the corridor. Ball bouncing along ground. Contest on the ground and punched forward there by Jeremy Schwartzendruber as the Americans bring it towards the forward 50. Team USA on attack. Number 15 here for the Americans. He'll pick up the ball on ground. That's Stokely Anobi out of the Columbus Cats. Canada takes possession. Handball forward. Again, we're just getting underway here as no score in the early going, the development game between these two clubs. Patrick McNeil joined by David Smith.
That's a free kick for Canada here on the wing. This is Samuel Skelkhorn. Kick to the middle. No mark. Bounce off the ground. Off hands. Ball in dispute. Canada picks up the ball. Still on the ground. Now picked up by the Americans, but dropped. Americans have the ball. Handball. Midfield. A kick. No mark there. Bouncing to the far wing. Americans still with possession, but really not getting much flow here as they try to go towards their goal. Canada picks up the ball. Handball off the ground, but still picked up by Canada. Trying to get it forward. Bouncing, in dispute still. There's a tackle, but ball still in dispute. Bit of scrambly play here early, as you might expect. A lot of nerves here for these development players in this game.
Yeah, both teams looking to make an impression, both on their coaches and, of course, on the scoreboard, but we're still looking for the first strike of the game. Team USA has it in the forward 50. Kick towards the goal square. Contest there. Not going to be won cleanly by anybody. Battle along the ground now again. Again, we are just getting underway in the development game. Team Canada, Team USA. Team USA is in red. Here's an opportunity for Team USA in front of the goal square. Kick to goal, and that was Eric Politz of the Columbus Cats putting through, and I believe that is the first score of the game.
Minor score behind. So it's 1-0 for the Americans here early in the first quarter of the development game. Canada will try to clear it out of their defensive 50. Kick to the wing. There's a mark by Chris Bork of the Sydney Giants. Looking to go through the corridor. Nice kick, but bounces. Americans pick it up. Nice tackle there. Ball is loose. Americans don't pick it up. Going towards goal. The kick, it's through the middle, and that'll be the first major of this game. So that's a goal for the U.S. Revolution, and it's now 7-0 for the USA here early in the development game.
Dennis Steinbach out of the Columbus Cats kicking the first major of this game. So Team USA striking first, key first goal. As again, we're just getting underway. We are at Colonel Samuel Smith Park at Humber College. Thank you for joining us on AFL Canada's YouTube channel. Patrick McNeil alongside David Smith for this game. And, of course, we will have the game between the Northwind and the Revolution. That one is coming up on all CBC platforms at 3 p.m. as the ball returns to midfield for the center bounce. Again, it is 1 goal, 1 behind Team USA. Canada, no score, but we are in early goings. Umpire Derek Govier throws the ball up, and we're back underway here. Team USA wins the ruck in midfield. Number 15 for the Americans kicks it forward, and we have a break in the action as the umpire's whistle goes.
It's like a free kick to the Americans. So this looking like about 40 meters from goal. He'll be kicking to a teammate. There's an open man. Can't mark the pass, but maybe hack the arm. Is that a free kick to the Americans? Yes, it is. So this will be a kickable ball for goal as the Americans already have a 7-0 lead here in the first quarter. Americans have had the run of play mostly here early in the first quarter of the development game. It's away, looking pretty good off the boot, and it is another goal. That's second goal of this quarter for the USA Revolution, and they'll go ahead 2 goals, 1 behind, 13 points to no score for the Canada Northwind.
And I do believe that it's the Columbus Cats contingent getting it done here. Avery Tomlinson kicking that one through. And it is, as David mentioned, 2 goals, 1 behind, 13-0 for Team USA in the early goings of this contest. And we are at the Humber College campus here in the Greater Toronto area, as we'll wait for the ruck at center. Thank you, everybody joining us today, watching this. I want to say hello to all the respective club teams of players that are watching this game, no doubt. Chris Bork putting pressure on the ball for Team Canada. Canada in white, USA in red. Battle coming towards the boundary here. Ball will be won by the Canadians. Samuel Skelkorn takes it temporarily, but the ball will come back to Bork. Chris Bork has experience, played for IC in 2017 for Team Canada.
For years don't know, that's International Cup. It's normally played every 3 years in Australia. In 2017, last time it was played. COVID obviously delaying things. There's 18 men's teams and 8 women's, so it's a pretty cool tournament for Australian rules players all around the world. Canada has it in their defensive end. That handball goes a little bit awry. Americans pick it up. That's tackled. Goes in the Canadians' hands. Long kick down the line. A little bit too far for Chris Bork. Ground it's on the ground. Ball, handballs towards the middle. Now kick towards the Canadian forward 50 on the ground. Kicked forward by the Americans, picked up by Canada, and that'll be a ball up, I believe, just outside the 50-meter line of Canada's forward.
Canada will be happy to get into the forward 50 for the first time in the game. Number 30 for Team Canada, Greg Lyman of the Burnaby Eagles, tips it forward. Americans will take possession, though, as moving the ball up is Zach Leger. Has a ball, and he'll move it forward, and comes out just side the forward 50 for Team USA.
Strong contested mark there by Julian David. And that kick a bit far there into the pocket, and that's over the line. So it'll be a boundary throw in deep in the American pocket. So another good opportunity for the Revolution here. Certainly been their quarter so far, but lots of time left here in this development game of Australian rules football at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario.
Yeah, as David said, we're just getting started here.
Free kick to the Canadians, so they should be able to clear it out of their back half here. It's going taking his time. Kicked wide. That's a mark. Going down the line, Canada. Up towards midfield on the wing. Nobody marks, but the Americans pick up the ball. It's going to come back. Kick towards their forwards. Nice defensive spoil there, and Canada comes up with the ball. Through midfield. Kick, and that's a mark, so Canada will get an opportunity to go into their forward 50 perhaps here.
Yeah, Team Canada looking for, I think, their second forward 50 entry of the contest. Great spoil there by John Clayton and the Denver Bulldogs for Team USA as the ball goes back in the other direction in the midfield now. Americans looking to go on attack. They have the 13-0 lead, 2 goals, 1 behind Team USA as contest in the middle of the field. Ball comes up, chasing after it there was the Canadian player, and it's going to be won by Team Canada. Ball pushed along the boundary on the right side of the field, the far side of the field from our commentary area. Again, Canada looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time. Team USA in possession, handball forward along the wing. Ball comes back to the Canadians. Kick towards the forward 50. And a nice contested mark there.
Strong contested mark there. This will be a big play for Canada. Can they get a good forward 50 entry here? And there's a mark. That's going to be a kick at goal here.
Marked by Samuel Skelhorn of the Grand River Gargoyles. He has a free kick now, David.
Yeah, so they're certainly hoping to break the momentum with a big score here. So we'll see what he can do with this kick. The kick looking good off the boot. And yeah, there's a goal for the Canadians. So that's cuts the lead to 7 for the Revolution and gets their first goal of this development game. So it's a big goal for Canada to get the little bit of the jumblies off of their game right now.
Yeah, perhaps working out the nerves, as you said, and that was a common theme in discussions with both players and coaches leading into this game. It's been a long time for all these players. teams haven't played each other since that International Cup in 2017. I know the Americans had some international competition in 2018, but it's been a long time for these guys to play at this stage, been a long time since they've played each other. But we got to see Samuel Skellhorn booted into the scenic trees here at Humber College, so a very visually appealing goal in more ways than one, and a big one for Canada to get them on the scoreboard, 13-6 USA. Canada wins the ruck, but the Americans doing a good job of winning the battles after the ruck there at the center bounce area. Canada takes possession, and the play is
there's a free kick to Canada here. So see if they can get something else going here. This is Steve Setka with the ball from the Winnipeg Bears. That kick, there's a whistle. Off the ball here, so it's going to be a free kick to Canada right at midfield. So this could be an opportunity for them to go forward again, and this is going to be, again, Steve Setka with the free kick.
We're going to see Steve Setka again during the Northwind Revolution game. He sends the ball forward. Mark not completed, but Canada trying to keep possession as that's John Hodge of the Brandon River Gargoyles kicking the ball deep into the pocket, but it looks like it's going to go out of play.
That's out on the full, so there'll be a free kick to the Revolution deep in their defensive pocket. Not really what he would have liked on that kick there. Americans kick it down the wing. Open man there and a mark. Down the wing. That's too far. Bouncing just in front of us here. Picked up by Canada. Sell some candy. Then a handball. That will go over the line and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in indeed. Right in front of our commentary area here. Again, the score 13-6. Team USA, 1 goal, 1 behind. Canada, 1 goal. Just still in the first quarter here of this National Development Squad game as a contest along the ground. Let's move forward on the boot of Jeremy Schwarzenturber for Team Canada, wearing number 26. Ball batted forward. The Americans taking possession. Soccer to head there as the Americans in possession of the ball. Nice physicality on display here. Of course, big rivalry between Canada and the USA, regardless of the sport. Contest along the ground. Ball will come back out to the Americans and tackle, and no prior opportunity there. That should be a ball up.
Certainly will. I believe just outside the 50-meter line of the American forward goal. So the ball up. Battle for the ball. Americans get it farther forward. This will be an opportunity. Off the shin, right in front of goal, but it's nicely smothered and across for behind for the Americans.
Yeah, no time to execute that kick. Good work by Eric Eskrovich to get his hands all over it to make sure that that was not going to be a major score, although ended up going through the behind posts anyway. Canada try to kick out of trouble from their defensive zone, kick along the boundary on the right side of the field. Again, it is a 13-6 score here for Team USA. 1 goal, 1 behind to 1 goal Canada. Ball kicked into the American forward 50, and a nice leaping mark there.
Nice contested mark for sure.
Absolutely. That was Ricky Sabini of the LA Dragons, a club in California, despite the big metro area, composed pretty much of all American players, and we're seeing one of their best in action here taking this free kick, David.
We'll see if he kicks for goal or tries a pass. There's certainly some a group of players near the goal, so we'll see what he does with this free kick. He's going away. The kick. No, he tries a short pass. That's batted away by Canada, but it's tackled by the United States. They get the ball, kick towards goal, and that'll be a goal again for the Revolution. They're third in this quarter, and that'll give them a 8.
I believe that's
13-point lead. It's hard to see the scoreboard from our commentary position.
Yeah, the United States did score behind on that earlier sequence, so that is their third goal of the contest. So that puts them ahead by a count of 20-6. So 3 goals, 2 behinds for Team USA, 1 goal for Canada. That was Zach Leger of the Houston Lone Stars kicking that goal. Has a background in wrestling, wrestled at A&M College. Is quite the ladies' man, I've been told, by his teammates, and they're certainly happy that he's put through the third goal of the game for Team USA. So again, 20-6 for Team USA here. We are at the campus of Humber College, Colonel Samuel Smith Park. USA takes the ball off the center ruck, and we have a whistle. Good sportsmanship there. Nice to see the teams cooperating with each other.
Free kick to the Americans. Handball. Longer kick towards the forward 50. Bouncing. Could be a good bounce for the Americans. That kick go way wide, and I believe it's going to go to bounds. It will, and this will be boundary throw-in deep in the American forward pocket.
Yeah, perhaps uncharacteristic kick by Julian David of Sacramento Suns has been very impressive in this game, but that kick obviously didn't go where he wanted it to. And as you mentioned, David, we're going to get a boundary throw-in, and that's going to be thrown into the forward 50 for Team USA. Again, Team USA leads 20-6. This is the development game. Northwind Revolution game will be going later today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Ball thrown in. Contest by a pair of number 25s there. It is going to be Team Canada winning the ball. It's kicked forward. Eric Brzezinski of the Calgary Kangaroos will move it ahead. Ball moved around the right boundary as Americans are doing a good job of winning contests all along the field. There's Chris Bork, captain of the Sydney Giants, with a nice bump towards the midfield as Canada takes possession. Not a lot of bodies out there near the forward 50 of Team Canada as number 13 for the Americans will kick it along the boundary. Intercept mark by Team Canada.
So they're going to see if they can get some flow going here. Kicked wide. Pack of players. That's not going to be marked. On the ground, in dispute. Canada now has the ball. That's Bork. Kicks it further down the line. Not to anyone in particular, but they keep some forward progress. Now the Americans have the ball. Right to a Canadian. And going back and forth here at midfield. Canadians with the ball. Can they get towards their goal? Defense by the Americans hold up.
USA. Sorry, pardon me, David. Go ahead.
On the far side of the ground, and this is over the line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, indeed. And as we said, a bit of a broken sequence there as the flow getting a little bit disrupted towards the end of the quarter. But, it is a 20-6 score for Team USA following the first quarter of play here.
Yeah, it certainly was the Americans' quarter for the most part. They had the run of play, but there's still 3 quarters to play here, and the Canadians will try to regroup and get this game back in their terms. So here we're here with the Tribal Sport first quarter recap. The Americans with the 20-6 lead. Here in the first quarter of the development game off of 3 goals and 2 behinds, just 1 straight goal for the Canadians. So we're going to show you a video now, and we'll be back here to Humber College of the development game of Parallel Cup weekend in a minute.
Greatest achievement in footy was winning the Div 1 championship at the 2014 World Cup. Bunch of guys coming together, all the same goal, playing their roles. There's no words to describe that how good it was to win that cup.
Being selected to compete for Canada at the 2017 International Cup, that was just such a really unique experience where we traveled to Melbourne, Australia for 4 weeks. One of the hotbeds of footy, the capital of footy. Everybody there is so crazy about footy, and you can really just experience that and understand what footy means to the people there, and to be a part of that is just something really special.
It's hard for me to narrow it down. I've had a few. I've had the opportunity to represent Canada with Northwind, playing in Australia over a few international cups, which has always been just an absolute footy fantasy camp for me. I love my football, so that's something that is a massive accomplishment. I've also taken the opportunity to spend some time in Australia playing club footy. Just played some local footy in Geelong for a couple years, and that was a massive return on my football, and just the experience itself and everybody I met was fantastic. But I would have to bring it always back to the Toronto Eagles AFC. It's a club I've been part of. All my best friends, mates, I've been around that environment, making the memories, doing all of that for many, many years. So I'd have to go back to the premierships and what we've done with our success. 7 premierships over my time at the Toronto Eagles, and that's collectively the best accomplishment, is to achieve that goal with a group of very, very close mates that we built relationships, memories, and everything with.
We have a club team here in Montreal, and we go to a tournament every year in the United States. It's the U.S. Nationals. And the second year that we went, they ranked us 8th out of 8 teams in the pre-tournament rankings. So we had no expectations going into that. And, obviously having that, we coined it as, sort of disrespect towards us, and, having no expectations really fueled us. And we ended up not only winning that tournament, but only having 1 goal kicked against us that entire tournament. So just having that underdog mentality, that whole tournament, and coming out on top was by far the greatest achievement in my footy career, and still remember it to this day. Great time.
Surely the grand final in 2018 with my local club, the Ottawa Swans. It was an unreal experience that I had to share with all the men and women who had laid the foundation for this club 10, 15 years prior to its first premiership that year. However, the biggest achievement as an individual level would be being part of this training camp for Team Canada and later being selected for this team. Also something that comes with great humility and just being very, very lucky to be having this opportunity.
Personal achievement, I was named best midfielder for Team Canada at the 2014 International Cup. And honestly, it could have went to anybody. I was just fortunate enough to pull enough votes, and that was definitely a highlight of my long playing career.
Me personally, it's not necessarily a stats thing, like, number of goals or number of catches. It was just one of these games, everything was sticking. Every ball that came to me, I was catching. Every ball that wasn't supposed to go to me, I ended up getting a hand on it anyway. It was just going well, and I was in the zone. After we went to the pub with the other team, and the coach and a few other players, someone's like, "You burnt out 3 of our defensemen, and we had to double team you at the end." I'm like, what a compliment. That was probably the best thing anyone's ever told me.
Was winning a premiership with my local club, Toronto Rebels, in 2016. It was the most amazing weekend. I didn't think winning would feel so good, and I really do appreciate how different it is from any other sport. When you win that as a team, it's really everyone from backline to front line looking at each other, understanding how much sweat, blood, tears were put into that season to get you to that point. So I think that was one of the greatest accomplishments of my entire life.
Winning back-to-back AFL Ontario premierships. Third one's coming in 2 months.
Located in Edmonton, Alberta, helping children as young as 8 months become strong swimmers. Former Team Canada coach Jason Arnold is the owner and operator of the business, True Blue Swim School. Love the water for life. Visit their website at trueblueswim.ca.
We are here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park at Humber College, the Greater Toronto Area. This is the development game for the 49th Parallel Cup. Team Canada, Team USA. The game between Team Canada Northwind and Team USA Revolution will take place 3 p.m. Eastern Time on all CBC streaming platforms. Easy for me to say, tongue-tied after the entertaining first quarter we had here. Team USA leads the development game by a count of 20-6, 3 goals, 2 behinds, 1 goal for Team Canada. And we talked about it already a little bit, David. What did you think quickly about the first 17 or so minutes?
Well, I think both teams have a bit of the nerves going on, so we'll see if they can settle down here in the second quarter, and it'll be more in Team Canada's advantage. But certainly the Revolution would have been happy with that first quarter. So we'll see what happens. We're just about getting ready to go here in the second quarter at Humber College, the game between Canada and USA in the development game.
Ball up, won by Team USA. Team USA doing a good job, even if they don't win the initial rock of it, winning the contest, so to speak, off the center bounce. We'll see if Canada can change that trend here in the second quarter. Americans take possession. Kick forward by Jesse Donahue, plays for the Minnesota Freeze in the USAFL. Ball comes out to Chris Bork, kicks it into the forward 50. Contest along the ground. It's batted away. Might go out of bounds. Nope, it's going to stay inbounds. And now it'll go out of bounds. I was seeing things in the future, Dave.
You know what's going to happen here. Canadians probably happy to have a ball in here in their forward 50. Certainly will be able to get their setup going, so we'll see if they can get possession here. Ball thrown in, off hands. American pick that could be a high tackle. It's going to be a free kick to the Americans.
So free kick, Team USA. It looks like it's just outside the Canadian forward 50. So the Americans are looking to kick the ball out of trouble, so to speak. Switch by Team USA. Perhaps a bit of a risky play, but the Americans keep possession. Ball bouncing along the ground here. After it is Tom Matthew of the DC Eagles wearing number 11. He'll punch the ball out the back. Matthew now will kick it. Looked like he was trying to go along the left boundary. Ball bouncing out right in front of our broadcast location here. As that is going to be kicked, switched across by Team USA. Avery Tomlinson of the Columbus Cats, who I believe kicked a goal in the first quarter. He'll move it across to Dennis Steinbach, his teammate in Columbus. Kicks along the boundary. Team USA still in possession after a nice mark there by Eric Politz of the Columbus Cats. A lot of Columbus representation. They have a pretty strong team there in Ohio as the USA marches towards their forward 50. A ball along the ground here. Looks like
ball goes nowhere, and that'll be a ball up here. But certainly, no, it's free kick given to the Americans, so this will be an opportunity for the Americans to extend their lead, I would say, probably within his range. This is Keith Phillips of the North Carolina Tigers. Lining up his kick. And it's away. It looks like it's left, and it stays left. And that is out in the full, so no score there. Canadians with the free kick in their defensive 50.
Yeah, kick just offline. We're actually going to see Keith Phillips again during the Northwind Revolution game. Canada kicking out of their defensive zone as Tim Fraser, the Halifax Dockers, just moved out east. Used to play in Calgary. He has the ball. He'll kick it out towards the midfield. Batted forward there by Oliver Drigo of the Hamilton Wildcats. Team USA takes possession now, though. It's kicked forward towards the American forward 50. Ball kept just in bounds there by Team USA, and now it's whistled at a play.
Going to be a boundary throw in here. Just looks like outside the forward 50 of the Americans. Certainly the Canadians getting a little more play here in the second quarter, but the Americans have it right now. Kick towards goal, but there's the defensive mark. Big one there for Canada. Long kick. Can't mark it, but Canada picks it up, kicks it towards midfield, picks it on the bounce. No mark there, but Canada still with possession. There's a kick towards goal. Looks good off the boot, and that'll be another goal for Canada. That is John Hodge of the Grand River Gargoyles, and certainly that's certainly an important goal for Canada as they narrow the margin here in this game.
Yeah, exciting if you're Canada because all the scoring thus far is off the boot. And that one kick, Team USA had that 20-6 lead they took into this second quarter. They had an opportunity there where Keith Phillips just kicked it offline, and now the big hit by John Hodge has pulled Canada within a 8-point margin. Team USA 3 goals, 2 behinds. Team Canada 2 goals, no behinds. So again, a 20-12 scoreline in favor of Team USA as we get the center clearance, and they'll do that again, it looks like. We are at the campus of Humber College in the Greater Toronto area, the Samuel Smith Park. Earlier in the day, we saw an AFL Ontario women's game. This is a dedicated footy oval, so we see a lot of action here, and we're seeing two good teams go at it as Canada wins the center bounce.
Free kick given to Canada there. This will be Steve Setka taking the kick, so getting a bit of flow here for Canada. This is what they wanted, for sure. Good opportunity to kick towards goal, and there's another whistle. Another free kick to Canada, and this will be right in front of goal. So that's pretty much a dream situation for them in this circumstance. It looks like it's Mike Fisher of the Grand River Gargoyles that's going to take the kick. Oh, is that 21 or 27? Tough to see from here.
A lot of sun in our eyes here today, David.
So it would be Michael Kasunik, I believe, of the Grand River Gargoyles. Here's the kick away. Looks pretty good off the boot, but just right. And that'll be Canada's first behind in this game. They had 2 goals straight before that kick.
Yeah, first blemish, so to speak, on the Canadian scoreboard. And contrary to what the scoreline will tell you, there is a little bit of a breeze here, but I don't know if the wind has been a huge factor. Maybe the players would say different in terms of the kicking. But again, it is a 20-13 score in favor of Team USA. Boot out of the goal square for the Americans as we get a nice little run up here for Team USA. Ball kicked to the center of the field. David lost his footing there in the middle of the ground as Jeremy Schwarzenturber will kick it out towards the Canadian forward 50. Americans get back possession, though. Seems like Team USA is not long without the ball as ball will come out.
It's a nice contested mark there.
Yeah, Kyle Mundell of the mark there, David.
High kick. Just too wide to be marked, and that'll be over the line and a boundary throw in. But Canada's still getting a lot more of the ball here in the second than they did the first, so I think they'll be pretty happy with how this game is trending. Certainly before that behind, they had 2 straight kicks, so certainly accuracy was the problem.
Yeah, but a pretty good game to watch, too. You can tell it's 2 good teams. Boundary throw-in, won by Team Canada. Handball forward, Canada working the boundary line here. Ball kicked deeper into the forward 50 out in front of the goal. Ball will come out as we have another battle along the forward 50 line, I would say, if my eyes don't lie to me here, as it's going to be pushed further towards midfield by Team USA, as Julian David was jumping out towards the ball there for the Americans. Kick towards the goal square. USA with lots of numbers here coming towards the goal. We have a contest here. As
race for the ball. Picked up by Canada, though. Though they're right on them, and Canada will have a bit of a battle. They still get the ball. That wasn't the best kick. Americans have the ball. Nice tackle. No free kick given. Americans with the kick, but that's wide, and it bounced, I believe, before it went out, so that will be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, David, you talked to me prior that you thought there was going to be a lot of pressure in this game, and I think we really saw that there. Tim Fraze was kind of in the middle of it all there, wearing number 11 for Canada, as he did a great job to get back, but then he had a rush kick to turn the ball back over to the USA, so both teams really putting on the pressure, and it's been a very hotly contested game, which is what we expected to see. Good to see a high level of play from these 2 teams that really haven't had a lot of opportunity to play against each other the last number of years.
Absolutely, a lot of adrenaline by both teams, so it's going to be a tough to win the ball in this one right now. There's a defensive mark just outside the goal square, so, or what's the call? Yeah, the mark to Canada, so they'll try to clear it out of their defensive goal area. High kick. Big pack, picked up by the Americans, kick towards goal, but that's well wide, and I believe it bounced, either a boundary throw-in. Yeah, no, it's out in the full, so that'll be a free kick to Canada.
Yeah, earlier there was a big mark in the goal square there by Samuel Skellhorn of Team Canada, plays for the Grand River Gargoyles, as that definitely saved 6 points for Team USA. And if you're wondering, the score is at 20-13. You can see it on the bug there. Actually shows 20-12, but I believe on the park here it says 20-13. So we'll try to keep you updated on that situation. Kick along the boundary for Team Canada. Intercept mark for Team USA. Again, the Americans leading this contest by 7 points. Good game here in the greater Toronto area. Ball kicked towards the forward 50 for Team USA. Contest along the ground. Ball kind of bouncing. That ball can be unforgiving if you've never played the sport of Australian football. Not always easy to follow where it's going to go. Kick by Kyle Mundell, the Grand River Gargoyles. It's intercepted, though, by Team USA, marked by Brent Mergen of the Minnesota Freeze. We're going to see Brent Mergen playing in the Northwind Revolution game as well. He's kicking it along the right boundary. Free kick for Team USA.
They're trying to get some flow here as they go towards goal. A kick off hands, no mark. Far side of the field. Big swarm of players towards the ball. And it's over the line and a boundary throw-in. A lot of players around the ball. You see there's really no players in either team's forward 50 right now. So really the focus is the ball by both teams. And it's a free kick given to Canada. So that'll relieve some pressure for them as they try to go towards goal here.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of contests away from the 250-meter lines. And again, we're seeing play in the midfield. Canada wearing white. Nice bounce of the ball. Kick forward towards the forward 50 out in front of the goal square there. Canada on attack, looking to close the gap as they're trailing by 7 points currently. Golden opportunity here. Kick a goal for number 19 for Canada.
And yes, nice snap at the goal. And a goal for Canada. So that will put the score as 20-19. So a 1-point game here. So a big goal on a nice snap. Didn't see who that was.
That was the fresh, young, 41-year-old legs of Kyle Graham, from the Montreal Demons, played in the International Cup in 2017, and it's great for the development squad to have those veteran players to help kind of guide the way for the rest of the team and see a big offensive moment for Kyle Graham. He's excited to kick that one, and what a game we've got going now.
Absolutely nice mix of up-and-coming players and veteran players here with the Northwind development squad.
20-19 is the score following that Kyle Graham kick. Americans taking possession off the center clearance. Ball will be moved forward, though, by Team Canada. Steve Setka moving it ahead. Steve Setka, the president of AFL Manitoba, plays for the Winnipeg Bears. As ball in the midfield still, and we have a break in the action on the whistle.
Free kick for the Revolution here. Not sure what the call is, but they'll take certainly the free kick. Kick down the line, off hands. Canada picks it up. Big bouncing ball in midfield, but the Americans going to go forward again. That's a race for the ball. That bounce favored nobody, and that's good. Oh, it squeezes out. Ball on the ground in dispute. Off some legs, off some feet, off some hands, off of everything, but not a lot of clear play right now. That was an attempted clear. That's in the hands of the Americans, and that's off the post and will be a behind. That was kicked by Dennis Steinbeck of the Columbus Cats.
Yeah, Columbus Cats very well represented in this game. That's Chris Bork of the Sydney Giants kicking it forward. They'll move it ahead. And that was Steve Setka who decided to play on the free kick. And Americans able to take advantage. Ball being moved by hand here by Team USA. Kick forward there by Keith Phillips of the North Carolina Tigers. As ball on the ground, Chris Bork. You can hear the Canadian players yelling Borky, trying to tell him to move it. And I think we're going to get a ball up here, David.
No, free kick given to the Americans here. So this will be number 15, Stokely Anoba of the Columbus Cats. Americans kick it into their forward 50, off hands, try to pick it up, weaving and diving. Back in hands for the Americans, kick it, goal, but there's the defensive saving mark by Canada. And there's another whistle here. So it looks like the ball will go back. Not sure what the call is here right now. Maybe a call behind the play or a 25-meter penalty, perhaps, against the Americans. So good opportunity to get some pressure off here for the Northwind development team. Off hands, ball on the ground. Bumping. Not fairly, though, and Canada will get the free kick. This is Tim Fraze of the Halifax Dockers. Ahead for Steve Setka. Can't pick up the ball. Does finally. Gets the handball away. Ball on the ground in dispute. Americans pick it up. Kicks it down the line. And nice contested mark there by number 17. I don't think we have on our sheet. So, mystery man, I guess. Here's a kick down the line. Off hands, the Americans pick it up.
Kicked across towards the quarter for Team USA. Ball moved into the American forward 50. Nice intercept mark, though, for Team Canada as they try to kick the ball out of trouble. Score is 21-19. You see on the scoreboard 2019, but the Americans have added a behind since then. So it's 21-19 Team USA as Canada kicking along the boundary. And almost a free kick there. Ball kind of bouncing around all over the place. And
that'll be free kick to Canada, I believe. No, free kick to the United States, it looks. So they'll be happy with that. Kick in towards the middle, off hands. Ball on the ground again. Been a bit on the ground here in the second quarter. And the Americans get another free kick just outside their forward 50. Shot towards it. Off hands. Kick towards the goal, but there's another defensive mark by Samuel Skellhorn.
He's had a number of those today. He's been a monstrous presence in front of the American goal square, and he's had a couple of goals saved for Team Canada as Team USA, though, looking to keep the pressure on. Kick out in front of the goal square, Team USA. Nice intercept, Mark. That's a key play for Team Canada to try to keep the Americans off the score sheet. Again, it's 21-19 for Team USA here as Americans charging forward. As that was...
And there's a tackle and free kick to Canada. Holding the ball. Kicks towards the boundary line. Nice bounce there for the Canadian player. Kicks it forward. Nice pickup. Handball. Kicks towards the forward 50. And there's a mark. He plays on it. Kick towards goal. Looks good off the boot. But just a little bit left. And that'll be behind for Canada. And I believe that ties back to a 1-point lead for the Revolution.
Again, that was the fountain of youth, Kyle Graham, creating a lot of offense for Team Canada. 21-20 is the score for Team USA. We've got a very good game going here. The national development squads for Team Canada and Team USA. And that is going to be a mark for the Americans. That's Joey Abdallah of the Des Moines Roosters, kicking it along the left boundary. Ball batted forward there, or batted behind, I should say, by Team USA.
Nice pickup, a nice mark there. America's getting some flow here. That's batted away defensively, though. Right to the Americans. That's going to go in their forward 50. Race for the ball. Will it hit the line? It won't. Americans now with the ball. Kick it, goal. Looks good off the boot. And yes, it goes through for a goal for the Revolution. Really good late goal here for the USA. And that's very late, as that's the halftime siren. So that's going to be a 27-20 lead for the USA Revolution development team. As here we are at Humber College, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We'll be about ready to show you a video on advice by a sponsor video for I'm throwing to a video. I'm sorry, I apologize for that.
Greatest achievement in footy was winning the Div 1 championship at the 2014 World Cup. Bunch of guys coming together, all the same goal, playing their roles. There's no words to describe that, how good it was to win that cup.
Being selected to compete for Canada at the 2017 International Cup, that was just such a really unique experience where we traveled to Melbourne, Australia for 4 weeks. One of the hotbeds of footy, the capital of footy. Everybody there is so crazy about footy, and you can really just experience that and understand what footy means to the people there, and to be a part of that is just something really special.
It's hard for me to narrow it down. I've had a few. I've had the opportunity to represent Canada with Northwind, playing in Australia over a few international cups, which has always been just absolute footy fantasy camp for me. I love my football, so that's something that is a massive accomplishment. I've also taken the opportunity to spend some time in Australia playing club footy. Just played some local footy in Geelong for a couple years, and that was a massive return on my football, and just the experience itself and everybody I met was fantastic. But I would have to bring it always back to the Toronto Eagles AFC. It's a club I've been part of. All my best friends, mates, have been proud around that environment, making the memories, doing all of that for many, many years. So I'd have to go back to the premierships and what we've done with our success. 7 premierships over my time at the Toronto Eagles, and that's collectively the best accomplishment, is to achieve that goal with a group of very, very close mates that we built relationships, memories, and everything with.
We have a club team here in Montreal, and we go to a tournament every year in the United States. It's the U.S. Nationals. And the second year that we went, they ranked us 8th out of 8 teams in the pre-tournament rankings. So we had no expectations going into that. And, obviously having that, we coined it as sort of disrespect towards us, and having no expectations really fueled us. And we ended up not only winning that tournament, but only having 1 goal kicked against us that entire tournament. So just having that underdog mentality, that whole tournament, and coming out on top was by far the greatest achievement in my footy career, and still remember it to this day. Great time.
Surely the grand final in 2018 with my local club, the Ottawa Swans. It was an unreal experience that I had to share with all the men and women who had laid the foundation for this club 10, 15 years prior to its first premiership that year. However, the most biggest achievement as an individual level would be being part of this training camp for Team Canada and later being selected for this team. Also something that comes with great humility and just being very, very lucky to be having this opportunity.
Personal achievement, I was named best midfielder for Team Canada at the 2014 International Cup. And honestly, it could have went to anybody. I was just fortunate enough to pull enough votes, and that was definitely a highlight of my long playing career.
Me personally, it's not necessarily a stats thing, like, number of goals or number of catches. It was just one of these games, everything was sticking. Every ball that came to me, I was catching. Every ball that wasn't supposed to go to me, I ended up getting a hand on it anyway. It was just going well, and I was in the zone. After we went to the pub with the other team, and the coach and a few other players, someone's like, "You burnt out 3 of our defensemen, and we had to double team you at the end." I'm like, what a compliment. That was probably the best thing anyone's ever told me.
Was winning a premiership with my local club, Toronto Rebels, in 2016. It was the most amazing weekend. I didn't think winning would feel so good, and I really do appreciate how different it is from any other sport. When you win that as a team, it's really everyone from backline to front line looking at each other, understanding how much sweat, blood, tears were put into that season to get you to that point. So I think that was one of the greatest accomplishments of my entire life.
Winning back-to-back AFL Ontario premierships. Third one's coming in 2 months.
AFL Canada is brought to you by Great Aussie Food, equipment partner for AFL Canada, delivering Australian foods and goodies from Australia to your door anywhere in North America. And you'll also see their logo on the footies here today. Hello and welcome to the Tribal Sport halftime recap. Tribal Sport is the official apparel company of AFL Canada. For more information, www.tribalsport.com.au.
And we are here at the Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the campus of Humber College in the Greater Toronto Area, watching the development game between the Canadian and American National Australian Rules football teams. Good game thus far. Team USA ahead 27-20 over Team Canada. David, walk us through how you saw that second quarter in the game thus far.
Certainly a lot better second quarter than it was the first. Canada had the 20-6 deficit after the first quarter. Really went both ways, the play for both Canada and the U.S., and I think they'll be pretty happy that they had a nice rebound from that first quarter.
Yeah, we talked a lot about these teams getting familiar with each other again, feeling out process, both with their opposition and both getting used to their teammates and whatnot. A lot of contests along the ground. I'd say a pretty good quality of play, though, here. I think people are probably impressed, especially with the athleticism. We have a lot of guys here, great athletic backgrounds even before they started Australian Rules football, but a pretty high-end level of game thus far.
Absolutely great athletes, but also a lot of pressure. So when you have a lot of pressure, you're going to have a lot of contested ball. The ball is going to hit the deck quite a bit. So we'll see what happens here in the second half, but Canada certainly, I think, be happy with that second quarter, less so with the first. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, not necessarily a lot to pick from between the two teams. Of course, it's the first of two games. Second game will be going at 3 p.m. EST. That'll be streamed on all CBC platforms as the Team Canada Northwind takes on Team USA Revolution in the 11th Parallel Cup. 9 of the previous 10 won by Team USA, but a lot of confidence, David, I think, in this Canadian group that today can be different.
Absolutely. The coaching staff really have confidence that they've made some strides here in the last few years with Team Canada. So they're feeling pretty good that they can bring the cup home here today. So, but that's the next game. We still have the second half of this development game to go, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And it's important to note, too, we talk about the game coming up later, but these international rosters, the same as any other sport, are very fluid. So if you're on the Canadian or American development team, you're trying to impress your coach. David had mentioned Team Canada practiced all together yesterday. So it was the players on the development team as well as the players on the Northwind team. So it's a great opportunity to, as I said, try to impress your coach. And more importantly, you want to get the win against your biggest rival, right?
Absolutely. But they are really hoping that they're picked for, the big team in the International Cup, which is scheduled to happen now in 2024. So it's going to be 7 years between International Cups. But certainly that's what most of the players here in this game are looking to do is to get in the squad of the game that's being played later.
Yeah, the last International Cup was in 2017. There was supposed to be one in 2020, but of course, COVID-19 has wreaked havoc with pretty much every sport in the world. So it's just nice to see the international calendar get back on track, so to speak, for these players. And talking about the development team versus the Northwind Revolution, and David, you mentioned you went to the practice yesterday. As we said, you have 24 guys on the Northwind roster. It's not like, there's this magic line between player 24 and player 25. You've got a lot of great players on all four teams playing today.
I was watching an inter squad there yesterday, and certainly the skills of all the players on both teams are pretty impressive. And, there's a lot of those players that are going to be on the big team going forward. So here we are at halftime of the development game here at the Parallel Cup Day here at Humber College. And that'll be 2 minutes to the second half.
Second half, third quarter coming up.
About ready to start the second half of this development game between Canada and USA here at Humber College, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as the USA Revolution development team leads by 7, 27-20. Here you go, Patrick McNeil.
Getting ready for the center bounce to kick off this third quarter. If you're just joining us, Team USA in red, Team Canada in white. Center clearance, and it seems like the Americans have had a good run of success in the center clearance, but Team Canada able to take possession. Ball goes way up in the air. Where's it going to land? Off hands. Team Canada in possession here. As marching forward are the Canadians into the forward 50. Great mark there by the captain of the Sydney Giants, Chris Bork. Chris Bork, actually the first player east of Montreal to represent Canada internationally. Played at the International Cup in 2017, and he has a big free kick here, David.
Yeah, here he goes, lines up. You would think this would be within his range. So he'll be trying to put Canada to within one. Looks pretty good off the boot, but not quite enough and right. So that's going to be a behind for Canada.
Canada, the first score of this third quarter. That makes it 27-21. A goal the difference. Team USA, 4 goals, 3 behinds. Team Canada, 3 goals, 3 behinds. As Americans kicking out of the goal square along that left boundary. Ball batted forward by the Canadians. Again, with that behind, Canada can tie this game up with the next kick of the boot. So we're just getting underway in the third quarter here in Humber College.
It's like it's a free kick to Canada. So this certainly could be a long way towards getting that 6 points to tie the score. Ball going back. Number 18, Chris Savoff of the Montreal City Blue Bombers. Great name.
Yeah, maybe the only player from the Blue Bombers at this event.
Off the boot, really high kick. I don't think that's going to make the goal. Off hands, near the line. Swarm of players on it. And that's a free kick to Canada from the pocket. So this is certainly going to be an opportunity for goal. And this is...
Looks like it's Chris Bork.
Chris Bork again. Another kick at goal for Borky. And... I'll have to restart here. As you said, represented Canada at the 2017 International Cup, veteran of this program. Going back for goal. He'll certainly be kicking towards goal, I would think, here. It looks good off the boot. And it's through, and there's a goal for Bork. And that ties this game up.
Yeah, the veteran Chris Bork, key goal. He's been so instrumental in growing Australian football in Eastern Canada. Nice to see him rewarded on the score sheet as well. And that is going to tie this game up. A dead even scoreline, 4 goals, 3 behinds. And if at first you don't succeed, try again, because he had the behind earlier in this third quarter. And it is a goal for Chris Bork, captain of the Sydney Giants, that has knotted this game up at 27.
Our teammate has scored the last 7 points in this game. Nice kick there by Chris Bork, and we're all tied up in this game. Been a fantastic game of footy already.
Yeah, obviously evenly matched based on the scoreboard. Team Canada wins the center ruck. Battle on the ground. Team USA takes possession. A lot of physicality there on the part of both teams. Kicked it towards the middle of the field, and ball is going to be batted out the back for Team Canada. Kicked along the left side of the field. That's a mark. I think that was just the required distance.
Just the required 15 meters for that mark. So Canada will continue to see if they can keep the flow. They've had the run of play here in this third quarter, no doubt about it. That's offhand. It looks like that'll be holding the ball. Free kick to the Revolution. Talk too soon, perhaps. Americans kick towards forward 50. Open player, but bounced in front of him. That handball's a bit awry. That dropped the ball. Now a swarm of players around the ball, and you'd think that's going to be a ball up there.
Yeah, contest here. Both teams coming out with some pep to start this third quarter. Ball up. Off the tap. Going to be Team Canada taking possession. Ball comes back out in the air again. As the play is just outside the U.S. forward 50 here. There's a kick for Team USA at the goal, and that is going to go for a behind. That was number 11, Tom Matthew of the DC Eagles, putting that through for a minor score. I say a minor score, but it's major in the sense that it puts Team USA in the lead, 28-27.
Certainly not the lead they wanted, but they do now again have the lead. So Canada hasn't led yet in this game, but only behind by 1 here in the third quarter. We're almost 4.5 minutes here into this third quarter. Along the wing, picked up, there's a handball. Off hands, picked. Kick along the ground, picked up. Run with the ball, kick towards forward 50, no one there, but picked up by Canada again. Kick that could be towards the line. Will it reach it? It will. It will be a boundary throw-in, though, in the forward pocket for Team Canada, so they won't mind that too much. They can set up here and see if they can gain control in their forward 50.
All I think kind of started by that nice run-up and then kick to space by Mike Fisher, plays for the Grand River Gargoyles. He didn't necessarily have a target kick to space, and Canada was able to make something out of it, and we got a boundary throw-in, but it's in the forward 50 for Team Canada, so they're on the attack, trying to erase that.
There's a free kick to Canada, so this will be likely in his range here. Kick towards goal. This is Mike Kasunik of the Grand River Gargoyles. Here goes with the kick. Looks like it's going to be left. And sure enough, that's a behind. So that ties the score up again. 28-28.
Yeah, we have 4s all over the board. 4 goals, 4 behinds for both teams. Not in the fourth quarter yet, though. We're in the third quarter, the so-called premiership quarter, as the ball kicked along the boundary. contest. Nice contested mark there for Brent Mergen of the Minnesota Freeze. And again, we're going to see him playing in the Northland Revolution game as well. Really testing his fitness is Brent Mergen today. Ball comes out to Team USA. Moved along the right boundary. There's number 2 for the Americans. Handball, Eric Poltz to Dennis Steinbach. Dennis Steinbach of the Columbus Cats kicks it through.
That towards goal. Doesn't make it. Takes a bit of a turn and over the line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. So the Americans get another forward 50 entry here. It's a tie score, 6.5 minutes into this third quarter. Fantastic game of footy here between these two development teams. And Canada's tied the score here. Batted by the Americans. Bit of a swarm of players around the ball there, and that'll be a ball up. Goes Canada with the tap. And free kick given here to Canada. So that should relieve the pressure a little bit for them.
Good opportunity for Team Canada. Kick out of danger.
And there's a 25-meter penalty, so that'll really relieve the pressure for Canada and possibly give them a bit of flow here as they try to take their first lead of this game. That won't do it, though. Intercepted mark by the Americans. Kick towards their forward 50. Too far. Bouncing ball towards the line, and it goes over, and that'll be another boundary throw-in here towards the American goal.
Yeah, good pressure there by Tim Fraze of the Halifax Dockers, number 11 for Team Canada. I mentioned he made his way east after playing in Calgary, as we see the boundary throw-in. Ball tapped by Team USA, but Skellhorn's going after for Canada. Boy, he's been a monster in this game. Samuel Skellhorn on the back end for the Canadians. Team USA in possession as the ball run forward there by Jesse Donahue, and he'll move it forward. Intercept mark.
Nice contested defensive mark there. Really important mark as the Americans look like they had some flow. So try to clear it out of their defensive half. Nice mark at midfield there. That's we don't have his number. Off hands there. Canada can't get it forward. Americans now. Kicks it towards the middle. Off hands. Kick towards goal. And looks like it went left. 4 behind.
Yeah, minor score for Team USA. Going to be enough to put them back in front, 29-28. As it is 4 goals, 5 behinds for Team USA. 4 goals, 4 behinds for Team Canada, 29-28. If you're just tuning in, Team USA is in red. We feel the need to clarify that. It's sometimes jarring to be a Canadian watching your team play against a team in red. Of course, the red, white, and blue of Team USA working on getting the ball out along the boundary. And that will be a free kick. Looks like if that is Ricky Sabini of the LA Dragons kicking it. Possible chance to kick towards the goal square here for Team USA.
Well, short of that. Swarm of players around the ball. Kick at goal. That looks like that's well left. No score at all as free kick to Canada. So out on the full, 1-point lead for the Americans. They've had the lead, or it's been tied this whole game. The Canadians have not had the lead yet, but they're only 1 point behind, so that can change at any time. See if they can relieve the pressure out of their defensive half. Kick wide. Battle for that. Americans pick up the ball. Certainly had a bit of the run of the play here the last minute or two. That handball to no one in particular. Off that handball, there'll be a kick towards goal. Looking good, and yes, that's a goal to the Americans. And they'll extend their lead to 7 on that. Certainly not what the Canadians wanted.
Yeah, deserved for USA based on the way the play has gone the last few minutes, as that was Stokely Anoba, the Columbus Cats, putting that one through as the Team USA, or pardon us, David, are they bringing this ball back to center? Is this a kick out for Team Canada? That must have been behind.
Must have been behind. It certainly looked like the Americans were happy with that kick, so I wonder if it was touched, but still going towards goal, so they're not out of danger. That's kicked towards, and I believe that's a behind.
It was Zach Leger of the Houston Lone Stars. He thought he had kicked a goal through. Team USA with a run of behinds here, so if you're Canada, I guess you can say you're dodging the bullet, but if you're Team USA, you want to be executing, but they've definitely had the run of play the last few minutes, and Canada just needs to complete a few marks here, try to settle this game down, and get it out of trouble in their defensive end right now.
Absolutely, Patrick. It's certainly been the Americans. There's a bounce. Running with the ball. Really one of the rare chances where there hasn't been a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. So there's a group of players all going for the ball. Ball's still going towards the Canadian goal, but they can't get possession. And that'll be, I believe, free kick to the Americans.
Free kick to Team USA, leading by a count of 31-28. I mentioned Zach Leger, probably the correct pronunciation. I'm putting the Canadian A on that. I don't think that's how they would say it down in Texas. So apologies to Zach's fans if they're watching. As Team USA with possession towards the midfield. As I know a number of clubs are organizing gathering parties to watch their teammates, which is great to see. As a ball midfield, handball by Team USA. As it's moved forward.
Oh, nice tackle. And that will be holding the ball in a free kick to the Canadians. Nice tackle there. Really good opportunity for the Canadians here to get some flow. That's high kick. Off hands. Americans look like they have the opportunity to pick it up here. Just boots it forward on the ground. Nice pickup. It'll be improper disposal and a free kick to the Canadians.
Team Canada with an opportunity to kick it out of trouble here. And as I said, it's been Team USA with most of the play. And that theme continues here on the intercept mark by Connor Francic of the Denver Bulldogs. He'll kick it forward. That is Tom Matthew of the DC Eagles. And first time we've really seen a team in this quarter string together a series of marks. Nice handball there by Team USA. And that kick it looks like it's going to go forward behind. That was off the boot of Ricky Sabini of the LA Dragons. See if the goal umpire. I think I saw the finger go there for 1 point
so it's
Team
another
USA.
behind. So the Americans have had a lot of shots at goal, but most of them lately have been behinds. You wonder if they'll regret those behinds later in this game. You know, kicking efficiency is certainly an important part of footy. That went right through the Canadians' hands. Does kick it forward. A lot of players in this half of the field right now. Nice defensive play there. Prevents the mark. Canadians. Ooh, that's quite the tackle. And high contact free kick here to the to the Canadians, excuse me.
Yeah, seeing a lot of physicality on the ground for sure. As again, I feel like I'm on loop here saying the Canadians needing to kick it out of trouble, and they've been able to prevent Team USA, or perhaps Team USA has gotten in their own way and not being able to kick through for 6. But if you're Team Canada, you need to reverse the flow and try to generate some of your own opportunities. Kick from the defensive end. Trying to work towards the left boundary here as the ball will come into the hands of Kyle Mundell. Mundell will handball it across. And Julian David of the Sacramento Suns will kick it. And it looks like that is going to go out of play.
There'll be a boundary throw in the American forward pocket. Really been a story of two different halves. Canadians had the run of play in the first part, but the Americans have certainly picked up the play here in the second part of this third quarter. So, but really haven't been able to affect much scoreboard pressure that way. Within a goal still in this game. That kick goes out of bounds, but free kick given to the Americans. So this, from their pockets, certainly a kickable ball for goal here. So we'll see what happens. Really tough angle, however. So we'll see if he kicks. No, there's a free man, but he'll have to do that again.
I believe that's Keith Phillips on the boundary kicking out for Team USA. Americans generating some good pressure on the ball. Phillips will kick it. Looks like he was trying to kick to mark. That was touched, so I don't think that's going to be paid. Play goes right on. Canada with possession. A crushing tackle out in front of the goal. And some testiness and physicality here between the two clubs. And that looks like it's going to be a free kick right in front of the goal. That's going to be Brent Mergen of the Minnesota Freeze with an opportunity. And this should be a pretty rudimentary kick, and it is. Team USA finally gets that major they were looking for.
Indeed, they get that major. They had lots of kicks at goal, but not a lot of the the 6 points that you want when you kick towards goal. So it will certainly extend this lead now. It's a 10-point lead for the Americans. Ball up here at center. Canadians hit it forward, but the Americans pick it up. This is number 1, Keith Phillips. He takes it too long and gets tackled, holding the ball, and the Canadians get possession. High kick towards their forward 50. Can't mark it.
And the Americans take possession out in front of the Canadian forward 50.
And that'll get you a free kick. Holding the ball, Canada with, this certainly would think be in his range, Michael Kasunik of the Grand River Gargoyles. Certainly been mentioning his name a lot in this game. A bit of height with this guy. So, and this will be a kick after the siren. Points will still count. And not quite enough towards goal. No points on that kick. So we have reached the end of the third quarter here at Humber College in Toronto, Ontario.
Yes, and it is a 38-28 score for Team USA. 5 goals, 8 behinds for the Americans. For Team Canada, 4 goals, 4 behinds. As we are on the campus of Humber College, here at the Colonel Samuel Smith Park, as Team USA leads Team Canada in the development game.
EMM Consulting, a major sponsor of the Northwind for the Parallel Cup. They've partnered with us, with AFL Canada, to bring the Northern Lights Youth Mentor Project and AFL Canada Cup coming in September in Vancouver. Their environmental consulting company, born in Australia but expanded to Canada. Through their commitment to community and a focus on health and well-being as well as gender equity, making them a perfect partner for AFL Canada. Now it's time for our Tribal Sport third quarter recap. Tribal Sport, the official apparel company of the Canada Northwind. More information, go to www.tribalsport.com.au.
We are here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College in the Greater Toronto area, where it is the game between the two national development squads of the Australian football program. Team USA leads Team Canada 38-28. Team USA 5 goals in this first 3 quarters thus far. David, what do you make of the game thus far we've seen?
Well, it was a big start by the U.S. in the first quarter, and then Canada came back in the second. The third was the opposite, but in one quarter, where it was certainly mostly Canada's way in the first part of that third quarter, enough that they tied the score. It was tied twice, as a matter of fact, but the Americans certainly picked it up in the latter part of that third quarter and now have a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I mentioned 5 goals for the USA. The other side of that scoreline, 5 goals, 8 behinds, while Team Canada 4 goals, 4 behinds, and that 8 behinds a really telling number. You had that sequence probably in the middle of the third quarter where you had a string of American behinds where they really could have cracked open the game. And if you're Team Canada on the sidelines, that's what you're thinking about. They've given us an opportunity. We really need to just take this game by the throat and just run with it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that late goal by the Americans was important because they had a string of behinds, and that could be a backbreaker where you're going forward, but you're not getting the points and the scoreboard that you need. So that really would have been a pick-me-up for the Americans. And, I mean, a 10-point lead still, this is anybody's game going here into the fourth quarter. So, but Canada, we'll see if they can come out in the fourth quarter like they did the third, because certainly the latter part of that fourth quarter really wasn't how they would like to play.
Yeah, we know they're capable, and as I said, we've seen throughout this game a lot of even game play. 10 points, game still up for grabs. Lots can happen in the next 17 and a half minutes here. Again, we are at Colonel Samuel Smith Park, Humber College campus. Canada trails Team USA 38-22 in the development game.
That was your Tribal Sport third quarter recap. For more information, go to www.tribalsport.com.au. They are the official apparel of the Canada Northwind. Northwind coming back on the field here at Humber College as we're about ready to start the fourth quarter. The Americans lead in this development game by 10 points. Lots of play still left in this one, so we'll see what goes on here in the fourth quarter as the ball is in the air.
Yeah, it's still anybody's game for sure. Team USA wins the ball up at midfield. Americans in control. Nice handball there as Team USA try to move the ball that way, left to right. But Canada looking to get possession here. Mike Fisher will move it across. Nice kick there by John Hodge, deep into the pocket, and the ball goes out of play.
That'll be a boundary throw in, deep in the pocket. Americans still leading by 10 here early in the fourth quarter. It's certainly a game where both teams have had the run of play. But the Americans have the bigger score right now. Tries the defensive clear. Americans play on, kick down the wing. There's a nice mark. Number 12, Brent Mergen. That's off hands. Canadians trying to clean up. Kicks towards the line. And that's over the line. And it's out in the full, so the Americans will have the kick.
Brent Mergen kick from the boundary. He's been very good for Team USA. Veteran in the international game. Played a little bit in Australia as well. Kicks along the left boundary. And nice intercept mark there by Team Canada. I believe that was Skellhorn. He's had a number of intercept marks today, if that was in fact him. He'll kick it along the left boundary. Looks for Tim Fraze of the Halifax Dockers. Fraze has the ball. Takes his time. Evaluates his options. Kicks towards the quarter. Intercept mark, though, by Team USA, as that's Eric Politz of the Columbus Cats reeling in the ball. Does a good job communicating with his teammates. Looks for an open option along the wing. And a good spoil there by
kept
Skellhorn.
in. Americans have the play. Kick toward the middle. That's off hands. Will it, Americans be able to? They can't pick it up. Canadians possibly looking for the line. Swarm of players around the ball. And I would say that's going to be ball up. No, it's free kick to Canada. So that will certainly relieve the pressure, at least momentarily, for Canada. Does the switch. There's a mark. See if Canada can clear it out of their defensive 50. That kick towards the line. No mark. Pushed over the line, and that'll be a boundary throw-in. Far side. Still in just outside the Canadian defensive 50.
Yeah, indeed. Again, Team Canada trailing by a count of 38-28 here. As the ball in the part of the field that Team Canada doesn't want it in, I guess we can say, as they are trailing 38-28, just getting underway in the fourth quarter. In fact, you can see the teams, the Northwind and the Revolution, starting to warm up as they get ready for their game taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern. Free kick to Team Canada. Boot along the left boundary. Ball's up in the air. Not marked by anybody, but the Americans will take possession. Kick forward towards middle of the field. Batted away by the Canadians as Skellhorn will drop the ball back on the handball. Comes out towards the midfield. Bit of a choppy sequence here as it's going to be Keith Phillips kicking it towards the right boundary line along the wing. And I don't know if we have an injury for Team Canada in the midfield.
Certainly a player down there.
Have to keep our eye on that as Team USA takes possession. That is Avery Tomlinson of the Columbus Cats kicking it forward as Canada keeps possession, as they get possession back, I should say. Again, we're keeping our eyes on what's going on in the midfield.
There's a bouncing ball. Who's able to pick this up? Americans. That kick is a bit awry. Nice bump by Canada. See if they can get it forward. Americans pick it up. High kick off hands, and that's going to be a boundary throw in at midfield.
Indeed, and again, we mentioned a potential injury situation, a player being attended to in the midfield, play going on around him, so to speak, but we'll keep our eyes on that situation. Hopefully, whoever that is going to be okay, but the play continuing on along the boundary contest there. It is Team USA again leading by a count of 38-28 as we're past the 4.5-minute mark into this fourth quarter. Haven't seen any scoring yet in this fourth quarter, which, if you're a USA Revolution fan, suits you just fine because it is the Americans that have the lead in this contest. As ball goes up in the air. United States.
Toe poked forward over the line. And it's like a free kick to the Americans out in the full. Certainly not a lot of flow in this fourth quarter, which you'd think if you were the Americans you would be happy with because, you know, they have the lead. So ugly footy is good footy for the Revolution right now.
Yeah, indeed.
It's going to get called back.
Canada's job to catch them, so to speak, at this point. Again, 38-28 Team USA. This is the first of two games between these two great nations today. This is the development squad game and high level of the play here, and We're going to see the best of the best going at it when the Northwind and the Revolution go at it at 3 o'clock. That'll be streamed on all CBC platforms, a CBC Sports YouTube page, along with the CBC app, CBC Gem, and CBC website as well. As, again, the Americans are content with this lead, and they have the ball as well. Switch across the field. That is going to go to Eric Politz of the Columbus Cats. He takes a bounce. He had space. He'll kick it forward. And that's Dennis Steinbach, his Columbus teammate. The Columbus guys doing a good job of finding each other, which I guess makes sense. You go to the guys you know and kick along the left boundary. Ball bouncing along the ground there as Mark Bang tries to complete a tackle. Umpire whistle
high tackle, so there'll be free kick to Canada. This will be number 2, Josh Muscat of the Toronto Rebels. So he'd be very familiar with this field. Again, a dedicated Australian rules football field here at Humber College in Toronto. That's a mark for Oliver Drigo of the Hamilton Wildcats. Kick towards forward 50. Can't be marked. Americans will try to clean up. That's a kick along the ground. That will be a ball in dispute. Big, big battle for the ball. No one really able to pick it up. Here the Americans do. Through the midfield. There's a bounce. Kicks high. Couldn't be marked there. And holding the ball, that'll be a free kick to the Americans just inside the 50-meter line. That kicks forward. Not marked, but picked up. Kick towards goal. And that'll be right and a behind for the Americans. So now an 11-point lead for the USA Revolution development team.
Certainly not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're Team Canada, you'd like to have more of the ball here as you only have so much time as we pass the 7-minute mark, and that's not going to help matters there. An intercept mark by Eric Politz of the Columbus Cats, and he'll have a nice opportunity here. He'll switch to the center of the field. The Americans keep the pressure on. That's Keith Phillips kicking it forward. Ball's going to go way up in the air and have an intercept mark there in the goal square by Team Canada.
Right in the breadbasket, and Canada will try to relieve the pressure and see if they can get some flow themselves. Only 1 point. Another player down on the field, it looks like. Don't see who it is.
That's Skellhorn. It looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Bit of a leg issue. Canada will kick it forward through the hands at midfield now. Bouncing ball. Handball by the Americans. Intercepted by Bork. Handball. Can't keep possession. United States has it again. Tackle. Americans kick it forward. And a nice low mark defensively for Canada. And they'll again try to relieve the pressure, but certainly need to get some scoreboard pressure as well as we go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Team Canada in need of a score here, and preferably a major one if you are the Canadian team in white today. Intercept marks not going to help matters as Team USA going to grind in the game defensively to their liking at this point of the contest. As ball worked along the boundary, Team Canada chasing after it. As kicked towards the midfield. Team USA with numbers, it seems, everywhere. As the ball will be kicked ahead by the Americans towards the forward 50. Contest out in front. Is that going to be Mergen getting to the ball in front? He's got an opportunity to kick for goal, but Tim Fraze is all over him. And he kind of prevented Brent Mergen from getting anything going there out in front of the goal the U.S.
Free kick to the Americans for tackling without the ball. He did not have the ball when he tackled him. So this will be an opportunity for the Revolution, certainly within his range, probably 25 meters or so from goal. This is number 12, Brent Mergen of the Minnesota Freeze. There's a kick, looking good, and that'll be...
That's through for 6.
That's through for 6, it would appear. And that's a big goal for the Revolution, extending their lead by another 6 points.
Yeah, Brent Mergen, a veteran of the international game, pushes the Team USA lead to 17 points. And I can't say it's not deserved. This has been very much a Team USA quarter here in the fourth. And Canada has their work cut out for them. There's about 7 or so minutes to play here in this quarter. Certainly not impossible, but Canada going to have to do a better job of winning some of those contests. Again, this is the development squad game. Team USA ahead on Team Canada by a count of 45-28. As the Americans will take on Canada again in the Northwind Revolution game. That one goes at 3 o'clock, being streamed on all CBC platforms. The tap won by Canada at center, but the Americans able to get possession. Canada marching towards the forward 50, trying to really generate their first opportunities of this fourth quarter. As ball out in front of the goal square here. Team Canada trying to get some pressure, but the Americans doing a good job of getting it out of town, so to speak. Ball kicked towards Eric Politz, and he'll reel that in on the chest for a mark. Another mark there. Playing on was Team USA.
String of marks there, and there's another mark towards goal for the Americans.
Brent Mergen again.
You'd have to think this is within his range, and certainly he wasn't looking to pass the ball there. He's going for goal here, I think, so to the chagrin of one of his teammates, it would appear. But Mergen with the kick, looks to be left, comes back, but not enough, and that's another behind for the Americans.
Yeah, just offline. I guess that evens the margins out, so to speak, though, because that puts it to an 18-point lead for Team USA, as we have a 46-28 score now. We'll wait for them to update the bug. Team USA keeping the pressure on. Here's Tim Fraze of the Halifax Dockers. He'll handball it across. Obviously, David and I have more familiarity with the Nova Scotia players. That is where we are located, but great to see all the talented players on display here as USA putting on the pressure. And the Steinbach for the Columbus Cats, number 3, had the ball there temporarily.
And it's a free kick to the Americans right in front of goal. So this is not what the Canadians wanted. This could be maybe not the final nail in the coffin, but it could be getting pretty close if he's able to kick this. And it's certainly very kickable golf. Dennis Steinbach of the Columbus Cats. Looks to be good, and there's a goal for the Revolution. Not what Canada wanted, but certainly the Revolution are happy to score their second goal here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Team USA kind of pulling away with this one now. 7 goals, 10 behinds, 52, and Team Canada 4 goals, 4 behinds, 28. It has been all Team USA scoring in this fourth quarter, as we have about 4 minutes to play. The Americans, as I said, have had the play in this fourth quarter thus far. A really good game of footy, but it's been all Americans in quarter number 4. Ball up is going to be won by Team USA. Here's Keith Phillips with the ball again. He's been very good for Team USA. He'll kick it out towards the forward 50 line. Ball batted ahead. Team USA still in possession. Here's an opportunity for Avery Tomlinson. Columbus Cats very well represented on this Revolution squad. And Team Canada will take possession. Ball handballed along the ground as the Americans keeping the pressure on. Canada trying to get it out of trouble as they're hemmed in the U.S. forward 50 here. As ball will be handballed across. Team Canada looking to break out. That's Kyle Mundell, who's the vice president of AFL Canada. He'll push the ball forward. Nice job there to get it out of trouble by John Hodge of the Grand River Gargoyles.
Nice shake off there. Kicks it towards forward 50. No mark, though. Americans try to clear. Handball. Another one. A lot of players around the ball, though. Americans doing a good job of not giving up possession here. And a very nice mark there at midfield. He plays on, though. Americans continuing on. Connor Franzik. And that's over the line. Going to be a boundary throw in at midfield, not far from our broadcast location. 14 and a half minutes here into this fourth quarter. Americans lead 46-28.
Yeah, not a lot of time left here for Team Canada. Boundary throw in. Canadians will win the contest here. Kick forward by Oliver Drigo of the Hamilton Wildcats. Ball bouncing along here. Kick to the forward 54, Team Canada. Almost marked, but not quite, as chasing after it was Greg Lehman of the Burnaby Eagles. He'll kick to goal, and looks like that's going to be offline.
Believe that's out on the full, but we'll see if there's a point. No, there's a point. He did get behind, so there's Canada's first point here in this fourth quarter. Not quite enough, though, to get them to where they need to win this game. We are over 15 minutes here into the fourth quarter. The Americans lead 46-29. Here's the kick to the wing. Nobody marks. Battle for the ball. Lots of players over the ball. 2 number 8s battling for it. And that's a free kick to Canada. So here's John Hodge with the kick. Can't mark it. Nobody can pick it up. That's batted. That'll be a throw and a free kick to Canada.
Yeah, Canada needs a score here quickly. They'd like to get something on the board, as the free kick is going to come to Kyle Mundell, the Grand River Gargoyles, kicking from outside the 50-meter line here. He's going to defer this, or it's going to be deferred to Greg Lehman of the Burnaby Eagles. Boot by Greg Lehman. Looks like he's trying to kick to Mark.
In the pocket, and it's marked. Certainly a tough angle here, but not that far from goal. So we'll see what he can do. This is Kyle Graham of the Montreal Demons. Was a member of International Cup 17 squad. Here's it. Kicks towards the teammate, but broken up by the Americans. Handballs and kicks towards midfield. Ball bouncing towards the line, and that's over, and that'll be a boundary throw, and the Americans be happy with that. Just slowing down the play here as they have a handy lead late in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that ball was so close to our broadcast location. I think some of the Revolution players were waiting for us to handball it back, but instead it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Ball up in the air. Tap by Team USA. That's the pressure being put on by the Americans. The umpire whistle goes as we have 17-18 played, and not much time left here in this fourth quarter. As Dennis Steinbach of the Columbus Cats will kick to the left boundary. Americans are just going to play keep away here, I would say, and they have done a successful job of that, David.
And there's the siren, so that's what the Americans wanted to hear, and they're going to win this development game over the Canadians, and certainly the players are happy about that if you're wearing stars and stripes right now. Good contest, though, by both teams. The Americans certainly late in the third quarter, that goal late, and the fourth quarter was theirs, and they come away with the victory.
Yeah, Team USA with a 52-29 win, 7 goals, 10 behinds for Team USA, 4 goals, 5 behinds for Team Canada. Fourth quarter, really the difference. The Americans pull away here, and the game between the development squads of Team Canada and Team USA here at the Colonel Samuel Smith Park in Humber College, Toronto.
So the full-time recap brought to you by Tribal Sport, the official apparel maker of the Canada Northwinds. Go to www.tribalsport.com.au. We're at full time here, and the Americans have won the development game at Humber College during the 2022 Parallel Cup Day.
Yeah, great display of sportsmanship. You can see the players shaking hands on the field. Again, Team USA, 7 goals, 10 behinds, 52. Team Canada, 4 goals, 5 behinds at 29. Canada held to the 1 behind in the fourth quarter. A very good game of footy. Great skills on display. A great rivalry between these two teams as well. As I said, fourth quarter, Team USA able to pull away there. David, what did you make of today's contest?
Well, it certainly was a seesaw contest. It looked like Canada had some momentum there early in the third quarter, but the Americans took it back late in that third quarter, and then really dominated that fourth quarter and came away with the victory. So, good game of footy though, with lots of great athletes, and certainly a lot of these players, I'm sure, have put their best foot forward to being on the big rosters at some point in the future. So, that was the Tribal Sport game recap. Go to their website at www.tribalsport.com.au.